Yeah. Hello, all. Good morning and good evening. So, yesterday we were discussing about the form validation. So, I have loaded the same yesterday's projects, form validation, and I have started. I'm starting this. Okay, this takes time. Okay, so server started. Let me open this in browser 4200. Yep. So where we stop is we were discussing this template driven form validation, but not completely done. I think it's done with these things. I think I have not start the server of Express. Let me do that quickly. So let me open in terminal. So just say npm start. Okay, so server started. Yep. When I type it's working. So I can type some password and I can select something Angular 9 or Node and I click on enroll. Actually, when I click on the button, yes, I got data. I got data, but at the client side, I have not have any confirmation message that is submitted or not. What? Okay, let's do that part now. So what my plan is, I want to hide this card and display some successful alert message. So let's see. Yes, it got success. I mean, data center server. Let me go to server once. Yep. See, if you enroll, I got a console log. Enrollment form is printed, and then you got a success message back. It's like success enrollment is success. So I need to catch this message and display on my page. So let me go back to the Angular module, app, components, enrollment, TS file. Yep. Here, submit enroll data. Yes, I got data, and yes, I catch the data to the success message also. And this I have to display on my HTML page. But when to display is when a form is submitted. Let's take another variable, public is submitted. I will take this. What's the problem? I get ts lint 1 minute. So editor inspections, uh, ts lint is unable disabled, right? Then oh sorry, it's a semicolon. Oh, yeah. Is submitted. I have taken a variable, and what I do is once a form is submitted, I'll make this dot is submitted is equal to true. Okay, and if it is empty, if it is else condition, I'll make submitted is gonna be false. It's not submitted here. Okay, fine. So depend on this. If it is submitted, I want to display the success message on my page. So let me go to the HTML. Um, card, yeah, above this card, let's take an alert message like alert. Let's write a division with the class call alert and alert success, and let me give some animated, some jello. Fine. Inside, I'll just take a button, button with a class called btn minus. Uh, sorry, it's a close button. Just say close, and data dismiss is equal to alert, Let's take an icon with a class called fu minus times circle, and along with this I want to display the message, so I display the success message, but I am sending through a JSON format, right? So success message dot success is the value because you have to display this data. So what I do, let's take a question mark. If this object is available, then get the success of it. Is it capital or lowercase? Yeah, lowercase. Copy. So I display that success, and let me display in a JSON filter message. It's fine, but when this has to be displayed is, let's take a condition star ng if it is submitted. If the form is submitted successfully, then display the message. And what about the card? So card has to be displayed if the form is not submitted. Ng if it is not submitted. So what happened? First time card is going to display when you log into this form and submit. If it is successful, submit will be true. So card will be hidden and the success message is going to be displayed on the page. So let's try this. I think it's reloaded. Yep. Uh, this we have seen already. Let's take some name. It's email and some password and some codes and click on enroll. Yes, I got a message. Enrollment is successful. That's fine. Now looks good, but one more thing I want to test is suppose when you have not entered any field, right? So I just click on enroll. See, nothing happened. I want if all the fields are empty. What is my plan is I want to display at least fill out the forms uh, some red color danger. I mean alert message when all the fields are empty. Okay, so for that purpose, I want to make another alert message if the form is empty. So let's make the condition first. Let's take public is empty form. Okay, if it is a form empty, but where it is empty. So here it is not empty. So let's take this dot empty form is equal to false and else here because if all the fields are not empty, then it is not empty. Else means obviously it is empty. So this dot is empty form is equal to true. So whenever a form is empty and it is not submitted, then you can display the red color warning message. So let's do that. So let me copy the same thing and paste it here. So if it is not submitted, and let's take an empty form is empty form, then alert danger, and let's make another zoom in and message. Message, we don't have any dynamic message. Let's try the shortcut. I mean a static message. Let me display. Please fill in the details. Okay, so this is gonna come. So let's check the application now. Template errors. I think is a problem with and okay, fine. Now let's check. If you don't fill any detail, yeah. If I don't fill anything, if I click on enroll, yes, please fill in the details. Now let me try to enter something. This we have already seen. Let's take a name and email at gmail.com and some password and some codes and click on enroll. You got enrollment success and also go back to the server. See, I got the message. I mean, I just get the form data sent to server and response come back from the server. So this is all about template driven form validation. But here we have done the whole form validation in the complete HTML page or the HTML template itself, right? So now let's see another way of doing a form validation in Angular. That's a reactive form validation. So what is reactive form validation is you can do a same kind of validation, but it is in the the huge code you have to write, the complete application logic code you have to write in a mostly TS file and less code in a HTML. So let's do that part. But before that, let me I mean design this form also. So quickly, so we have already created the component for reactive form. So go there, HTML. Let me delete this. Again, same bootstrap structure. It's a class called padding. Let me take one container and one row and one call MD5, one card header, card body. Let's make it center margin auto, and for header I'll give BG secondary and text to void. So let's make some H3. So register here. Fine. Let's make a form. Let's make a form. Array division with a class called form group, and then inputs type is equal to text. The class called form control, and let's make a placeholder username. Okay, fine. Let's take a username and email, password, and fine. And let's make a same kind of select box. Yeah, select box is going to be the select with a class called form control. Inside, I'll just take an empty option with the value empty. Let's take select a course, fine, and then let's take multiple options coming from the TS file and slightly modify those things to this is email, and the type is also email, and this is gonna be the password, and this is also password. Fine. Let's check once. Yes, I got a registration form, and I need to make a submit button. So division. Let's take input type is equal to submit, and the value goes to submit, and the class call btn minus secondary. Fine, looks good. Not refresh. Yeah. So you have registration form same like this one, but here some margin top was given. Okay. Let me give some margin top. I think it's 3. Okay, fine. So here, when I click on a submit, I have to submit the form data. Uh, so here, first of all, whenever you want to do the reactive form validation, the very first step is, I tell you the steps. So whenever you want to do the reactive form validation, so the very first step is you have to import a special module to your app module, that is uh, reactive forms module. So this is a special module you have to import to the app module to start with the reactive form validation. Let me do that step first. Go to app module. Let me import, not the general forms module. Along with that, I need so import reactive forms module from the Angular forms. Let me import in the imports. Then that's the first step. And then um, uh, if you want to make these fields to be what do you call, okay, now the story is, once you have imported, what reactive form says is, uh, this whole form represents a class called form group, and the each field is called, it comes under the form control. It means, uh, let me take a snippet. Yeah, you see here, uh, this whole, what do you call, this complete form, yes, this complete form is going to be the form group. Okay, and each individual field, this each individual field is called as actually form control. It's not actually the bootstrap classes, it's from Angular side also, it's a form control. So how to create them? Generally, in a template driven form validation, what we have done, how you can make a two-way data binding between the HTML form elements to the TS file is, we have used ng model that. But here is not like that. We must not use ng model. Here we have to use a form builder, okay, to construct these fields. So we have to declare the dependency on form builder, and using the form builder only we can construct the form group and form controls. Let me do that first. What is the concept here is, go to the TS file. Let me dependent on, let me declare dependency, that's form builder of type form builder. Yes, it's declared. So Angular will automatically inject the form builder to you, and using this form builder you can create a form. What you do is, let registration, sorry, it's not let, let's take public, registration form is equal to uh, this dot form builder dot group as a function. Inside you can make an object, and inside you can do each controls configuration. Each control is a sense, each field. So let's take a username field. Its value is going to be the an array with empty data, because all the fields are empty now. So that one, username, and email. Email is another array with empty. So this empty represents what data should be there inside of each fields. Email and password, and quotes. Quotes is also empty. So I have registration form, and this registration form I have to attach to HTML. Generally, in template driven form validation, how you attach is using ng model a directive, but here is not like that. We never use ng model here. We use attach these fields over there. How to attach them is, uh, this registration form you can attach to the form using uh, form group is going to be the registration form. That's first step. And then each input field, there's a form control name. Yeah, it's a form control name will be username. And what is this username is, whatever the name you have declared. So that one. Okay. And so now I have given form control name username like this. So here it is empty. So that's why empty data has come. But when you declare it as some name, so this name is going to attach to this field's name. So both will be in sync. See, The name has come automatically here. So we never use ng model. We just use in this other process. Fine. As a form control name, username, and let's we do that for all. Form control name is a email, and here it's a form control name. It's a password, and here form control name is going to be the quotes. Fine. So I have made a two-way data binding for all the fields. If you want to cross check, you can even do the registration form dot value of type JSON. You can check the data now. So let me refresh. Yes, I got all the fields. See whatever I'm typing, see it is updating over there. So now all are in sync, right? Yes. Oh, one more thing. I have not made any options here. Let me do that quickly. Options is going to be here. Let me create something public. Courses of type a string array is equal to one array. Inside I'll take Angular 9 and React.js and Node.js and also Express.js. Okay, I have all the fields. So let me use those fields as an options here. I use ng for, let's say star ng for let course of course only. Sorry, it should be courses. So each value is going to be the course, and display also is going to be the course. Fine. So now let's check. Refresh. Yep. So I got all the fields. Yeah, looks good. Fine. Now we have made a two-way data binding. But one more thing is, so how to highlight the fields? How to highlight the fields based on the touch we have made here. Na? If it is touched and if it is invalid, we apply the colors and all this. So to highlight the front end fields, same way we have to use only HTML, but we can't do anything from the TS file. So we have to configure from HTML only to highlight all the fields. So how do you write is, see here, I want to write a dynamic class name, but how can you get this field data? So previously uh, uh, we use a template reference variable to ng model, and using template reference variable we say dot focused and dot invalid, right? But here it is different. We can do like let me try something. Class dot is form invalid when is I have to get the username field. You can actually get username field using registration form dot get of username. Okay, that's how you get the username field dot invalid and registration form dot get of username dot touched, like this you have to write. Okay, so let's check one, is that working? Make it refresh. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, why it is not working is you have not made any required fee validation, right? Because the required field is not there at all. Because without required key, it won't do any validation. It will take just everything is optional. Okay, that's why it's not showing any error. Okay, so if I write valid, let me check once. If it is valid, then valid has to come, right? So let's take it is valid. Yes. Now check the valid. If I don't enter, still not working. One next. Yes. So it's become valid field because we have not made any uh, form validation here. So previously template driven form will make required key I mean required attribute and pattern attribute we have given here, but in the template in the reactive form validation we must not do the required keyword here. What you have to do that is from here only, from the TS only, you can write a validation logics. So how can you write a validation logics is for each specific field, it's called a form control. For each control you can make comma, you can take an array of validators. So how can you write a validators is capital validators angular forms dot they have given some predefined validations dot required. Okay, if you mention validators dot required, then this username is going to be applied with this required validation. Okay, it means yeah, it is exactly same as if you write required attribute here, but we must not do that here. We have to do that from the TS file. So validators dot required. So if it is required field, if you don't enter anything, you get the red color. Yes, looks good. And I want to make another validation, that's min length validation. You can do a validators dot min length. The minimum length I want it to be 5 characters. Okay, so now we have a required validation and min length validation. Let me evaluate this and display the message here. But before we do all this, actually writing this much is it goes, it leads to too many lines. Instead of writing this many things, get register, I mean registration form dot get something, I can do this process from my TS file itself. Instead of doing this much, you can create a separate method, public get username. We can take like this, get username. It's a method. So I just return this dot registration form dot get. So I can do that from here only, username like this. If you have done this, what's the problem? Semicolon expected. Where? Oh, sorry, return spelling wrong. Yeah. So return registration form dot get. If you can call this method, it return the same story here. So what you can do is, instead of doing this much, just say get username. Okay, let me do that. Copy and replace this with get username. This is also get username, and this is also get username. Okay, this is simplified, so it's works now. uh, Tab is works, and if I enter any 2 characters, it won't allow because you must have to enter minimum 5 characters. Enter 5 characters, automatically green. Fine. But I had to display the messages also. So how we display message is same like yesterday's class. We have highlighted some division and all, right. So let me do that from the previous file only. HTML. Yep, we have made this step. Copy back to our HTML, and to highlight the fields, you must have to write HTML only. Okay, so I have made this from previous thing. What I did? Oh, I did something wrong. Not this one actually. Uh, for each input field, yes, this one, username, right? Yeah, and also this small tag. Copy and let me paste it here. Okay, so here get username is the function you have to call. Let me copy get username, get username, get username. Okay, required, but we have not made any pattern. We made actually min length validation. So min length validation. If min length validation fails, let's say minimum 5 letters required. Okay, like this. And if everything success, it says looks good. Let me test it out. This thing. Go back here. If I think it has to refresh. No. Okay, let me, yes, required username, and when I'm typing a 2 letters, see, minimum 5 letters required. If I enter 5 as it is, yes, it looks good. So let me apply the same thing for email, but email we can do our own validation, that is email validation. So you can make use of that. Let me copy, um, comma, paste. So for email we have they have already given some predefined validation, that's validator dot email. It applies the email validation. And for password I want to use the same min length validation. And for course actually select box. So for select box, never make a length or something, just give only required is enough. Okay, so these are the validations we are going to apply on the fields. So now let me write logic also. Let me copy this, but I have to make get password method also. Yeah, let me do that. Public get password. Okay, so return this dot registration form dot get of password. So it must be exactly same as the declared type. Okay, so let me copy. This is gonna be the email. So get email and get course. The problem. Get course. This is going to be the course. And so let me call these methods from here. I'll just copy these things and go to the password field. Let's make a class placeholder. This is gonna be the get password and copy get password, get password, get password. Fine. Let me give this error messages below the password field, but I missed the email field now. I'll do that. So get password. Okay, here you have to say required password and required say minimum 5 letters. And the same thing I had to do for email. I missed the email actually. Email. Yeah, email. Let's write a class name. So get email. So copy the email, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, and then this thing. Okay, here it's again a get email. Okay, so required, yes, required email, but it's not 5 letters. It's a errors dot we made actually what email validation. So let's do errors dot email validation files. Just say please enter a proper email, a proper email. Fine, that's one thing, and then looks good, yeah. And last field is course. Let me do that. Course here. Okay, so get course. And let me apply these rules and go back here below for select box display. So what you do is get course, get course, get course, get course, get course. Then but min length and all not required because we made only just required validation. So you can get rid of this extra not required. Only the required validation fails. It says required course. Fine. Okay, so I think it looks good. Let me try the logic. Yeah, So we don't need this now. This part is not required. That is just we made for testing purpose. Yep. So now clean form, refresh. Yep. Let's try. See, it just shows proper messages. Yes. So when I'm typing, just file it as, and see, you enter a proper email at gmail.com. Yep. Password again, file it as, and you can type some other password and codes. When I select Angular 9, it works. If I don't select, it's reddish color. Okay, fine. But when I click on submit, I have not made any form submission logic. Let me do that. So what you do here is ng submit. So let's say submit registration method, submit registration method. Let me copy back to here. I'll create that submit registration here. So public submit registration. So you have to get all the fields check. Is it success or fail or what? I mean, I have to check the it is empty or not. So I can check get, not get, this dot get username dot value is not is equal to empty, and this dot get email password, email get email dot value is not is equal to empty, and this dot get password dot value is not is equal to empty, and also this dot codes, sorry, get codes dot value is not is equal to empty. If all the values are not empty, then I can submit the form, or else I can just stop this. So here I have to submit the form means I need to dependent on the service. I think we made actually a separate service for registration, uh, registration service. Yes. So here I have to dependent on HTTP, but I think in the server also we have not made anything. Let me go to server. Yes, I have done only for enroll. I have not made anything for registration. Let me copy this for server side, paste it. So this is registration form handling. Let's take a slash register and requested body. You get the registration form. Yes, I want to cross check the form data and the registration form. I'll submit here and success. So registration success. So this message we have to display on on our page. I think looks good. Yep. So fine. Let me call this register from the service. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to depend it on I mean declare dependency on HTTP clients. So private underscore HTTP client of type HTTP client, and then let's make register or registration. So let's say public register user. Okay. For register user, what you write this, you can return no return, but you have to pass some registration form also. Just say register. That's like user. Why all this? This dot underscore HTTP client dot post URL. I need to make URL. Let's data URL is equal to is not configured any API or something. We have made directly logic. So this 3000 slash register. Okay, so 127 dot sorry dot g dot 0.1 colon 3000 slash register. Okay, so let's make the data URL here, and also the user submit the form dot pipe, and that just say retry of one. Okay, so fine. I have to make this as a return type any for time being. Let's take an observable of type any. Okay, looks good. So I have to call the registration user from my components. So back to here. So component has to declare dependency on the service. So let's say a private uh, register service of type uh, register the registration service. Yeah, fine. Let me use that in the ng init, not ng init when a form submit. Yeah, here I can do this dot registration service. You can take registration service or underscore. Better we are already following underscore. Let's do underscore. Yeah. So dot register user, but I need to submit the user. But how I get the user? We got all individual fields. No. Can you send a whole form? No. I do one thing. I can just make. I can create a user here. Let user is equal to an object. In that username is gonna be this dot get username dot value is better, comma email. So this dot get email, sorry, email dot value, and password is going to be the this dot get password dot value, and course. So this dot get course dot value. Fine. So I got a form data. Okay, let me substitute this user over here. Okay, and dot subscribe, and here you have a success callback. So data, but we are sending something from the server. It's registration success as an object. Let me catch this data from here. So I create a variable. Let's take public success message. Let me add that success message over there here. So this dot success message is equal to the data, the object, and I have to also check a form is submitted or not, and is empty or not. Let me create two other variables. One is public is empty form, and public is submitted. Okay, so here in the else condition I can write this dot empty form is equal to true, because this if condition fails, so empty form is true, and submitted also is submitted is equal to false, submitted false. But where it is true is here inside. You can make if it is successfully done, this dot is submitted is equal to it's true. Fine. So let me write uh, the alert messages same like our what which one, same like the enrollment form. Let me go there once. So what success message we given there? Yeah, these two. Let me copy the same from here to here, copy, and go to our registration form also, and before the card let's paste, and this check is there anything wrong. Submitted, okay. Success message, okay. Empty form, okay. Yeah, looks good. Fine. Let's check. This is our reactive form, and let me submit without entering anything, just to get fill in details. So you must have to fill the details. So let's say some name. Let's take some of the name called John Wilson. So John at gmail.com, and some password, and he select express.js, and just keep on server also. Yes, server is started now. So when I click on a submit, I didn't get anything. It's not submitted also. Why not submitted? One second, something went wrong. Yeah, ng submit the registration. We came here, everything is not empty. Fine. So let user equal to username dot value and all fine. And this user I have submitted here. Dot subscribe. Correct, no? Data also fine. True also fine. Let me go there. Slash register HTTP client dot post. Everything looks good. Server also post. It's done. It's correct. But why not coming? Okay. Let me debug. Console is there. It is not printed. It's not printed means it's not came to the server. So somewhere in the service it's stuck, it seems. I got a user. User I substituted. Data URL and the user. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here you have to give the HTTP. HTTP colon slash slash 127.0.0.1. Yes, correct. There's a problem. I think it works now. Let me test again. Yeah, reactive form. Let me click on submit. It's empty fields. And if I write name, let's take a John again. John Wilson. Let's say John H gmail.com and some password. And he select again. Okay, let's take this time. What happened? Form stuck actually. My browser got stuck. Yeah, Angular 9 he selected. Now let me switch on the terminal. Yeah, back to browser. Click on submit. Yes. Oh, I got registration success, but I have to hide the form. We'll do that. Yes, I got the form data too. Only one small check is I have to hide the card. So I think that logic is not done. For the card, you have to make if the form is not submitted. Let's take a star ng if not submitted. Okay, the form is not submitted, then display. Otherwise, just hide the card, display only message. Fine. Now one last time. Yeah, one last time. Okay, when I click on submit, you get the empty fields. Fine. So when I type it, it shows all the errors. And when I make a name and my name at gmail.com and password is something and Angular 9, click on submit. Yes, you get registration success and also at server you can access the data. Yes, looks good. So this is the concept of form validation in Angular, template driven form validation and as well as reactive form validation. So this concept is finished. So one last concept is there, and in this, which is best is better go with the reactive form. Okay, so because unit testing also possible, and for complex validations also you can write with um, um, reactive form validation. So better go for reactive form validation instead of depending on. If it is very simple form, then go with template driven. Otherwise, please give first choice for reactive form validation. Okay, so that's fine. uh, After this concept we have a plan is one last application of Angular is pending, that is events booking app. events booking app so events booking app is the major application. It will take more days, it will take another minimum 3 days to develop this because it's a complete full stack app. So here we use all the concept, like we use Angular, React and everything. Sorry, Angular, Node.js, Express.js we use. Um, yeah, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. One
Uh,
quick question. So, how do we test with that Jasmine or Karma or anything for Angular?
Angular.
Because
It's
unit testing in Angular and
no,
how,
it is protractor. Using protractor, you can test it. Actually, our syllabus doesn't having any unit testing concepts.
okay. So you said like we need to use this one.
Yes, protractor you can use. Just go to the official documentation of protractor. They just tell you how to integrate with Angular and React.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm.
fine. And also they have given us some source code also. If you go to every component, right, they'll give you the spec file. This spec file this is actually from protractor. Like so, describe you some test cases, and it's a long concept actually. You have to declare the modules before, and this is a test case. Each test case it will be like this. Okay. Let's see that. And yeah, in events booking app, it's a full stack app which is having interesting thing is which having every concept of Angular, from data binding to components to services to HTTP, along with the server and database MongoDB, and along with that one extra concept is there, that's a JWT authentication. What is this is it's a JSON Web Token authentication. It's a token based authentication system. So it is having a login and logout, because we already made one application called Employee Portal, but there is no login system. So here we have a complete login system, and we have two kind of events, like pro events and free events. So until unless you log in, you can't see the pro events, and we also have an option for uploading a new events to the system. Okay, so based on your selection, you select the free events, and it will deploy the, I mean, free events, or pro events you can select. So that upload option also available. So let's start this application from tomorrow. Okay, so the blueprint, I mean, the look, how it looks like and all, I have already made in the video, but something next level of that we'll do. I think you know that. Yeah, so in this Angular demo I have explained that this is yeah, this one I think it's running in low resolution. Okay, this application we're going to see, we start from tomorrow. Okay, with the complete login logout and all. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining today, and we'll continue from tomorrow, right? Thank you.